was Rich Paul crossing the line with his commentary and takes on this podcast?
It's a thin line, and because this is uncharted territories, we don't know where that line is. Because one, he's an agent. Forget the LeBron part. He's an agent, and he's openly talking about possible trades for certain teams. Right? It's not like he's talking about two different teams. The team he's talking about is where his main entity is, and that's actually trying to help that team win a chip, which I'm fine with. You know what I mean? We get another championship. But it's to help this team win a chip in a sense. So it seems more biased. Now, when you remove the bias part of it and you're trying to understand what he's saying, right? I think sometimes when people are pushed onto this person's going to get traded, is because they are an asset, right? LeBron right now is not a trade asset, right? He's not. Rui is probably a good trade asset right now. You have, obviously, Austin. You know, you have people who's like, I want that, I need that. So just like anything, you want to see what you can get back for them if you don't have him in your long-term, you know, what's the name? And we don't know if him and Luka do get along, if Luka has the ball out of his hands too much. We don't know, right? But they both do the same thing. And what can you get for it? It all depends on what can you get for it. Am I getting Jaren Jack? That's it? I'm losing a shooting guard who changes the game because he doesn't really think about shots. He just shoots them. So he's going to hit shots that put you back in the game. He has that clay in him a little bit where he's going to take some shit you didn't think he was going to take, and he makes it. He knows how to get fouled, which is a very great skill that's hard to teach in this game, right? Even though he makes erratic behavior plays, he's still on the plus for someone like me. I don't give that up for a player like Jaren Jack. I'm sorry, I'm not a defensive guy. That might help the defense, cool. But we do have struggle with our offense just as much too. Right? We are stagnant. We sit around. Not a lot of players can make their plays, and he is a player who makes his own offense. I don't give that up for Jaren Jack. It doesn't make sense to me. That's not a guy. I mean, are you giving me both? You know, you giving me both him and Ja? Yes, but I'm not just for straight Jaren Jack, who's going to be a pop shop guy who's 6'10" that don't rebound. I'm good. Austin rebounds better than him in a sense.
So let's shift over to you, Mr. B. Mr. B, we talked about this a little bit yesterday to end the show. We were going to touch back on it today, so we didn't get too deep into it. But do you feel like Rich Paul may be crossing the line, obviously doing this show and talking about situations involving LeBron, his biggest client, and other players on the team?
No. I'm with everything Rich is doing right now with this podcast. As far as the fact that, you know, I've never really had insight tell on what agents, how they view things and how they look at things. There are other agents that do have podcasters. Mike Miller, Russell Wilson, his agent has podcasts. I looked them up. So, you know, they all talking about the business side of the game and everything like that. But I think what Rich is doing, he's opened up himself for another lane. If it is an unspoken word that agents shouldn't talk, well, it is being spoken about. And I'm all for it because everybody today, they can have their rumors, they can have their say-so, they can do whatever they want. So why Rich can't?
Oh, let's shift over this guy. Cemetery Larry, do you feel like Rich Paul's crossing the line doing this podcast, talking about this, again, hypothetical trade situation, presented multiple options for this trade, one keeping Reaves, one moving him, went back, obviously, acknowledged the situation he had with Reggie Berry, who's one of Austin Reaves' agents. Reggie Berry, also a great dude as well.
I would say that LeBron and Rich have a relationship like Charlie Murphy and Rick James. LeBron being Charlie, Rich being Rick.
Damn.
He be in that bitch like, fuck your couch, nigga, fuck your couch. Give a fuck about the Lakers. Give a fuck about Austin Reaves. Don't give a fuck about what you got going over there. But then guess what LeBron did? I don't know how to control this nigga. You a ventriloquist, my guy. You know exactly how to go over there and tell that man, cut the shit, bro. Cut the shit. You're fucking up the business. Now you got Austin Reaves looking over there like, hey, man, what we doing? Jaren Jackson Jr.? What we doing? Jaren Jackson Jr. for real? You sat up there with Max Kellerman and he said, yeah, I would do that too. Jaren Jackson Jr., yeah. What? Cocaine is a hell of a drug, man. It's a hell of a drug. It's different out here. This is what happens when you give a motherfucker power, he don't know what to do with it. Saying random shit. Everybody got a podcast now. I'm just glad we were underdog and we got a TV show.
We are not a podcast, we are a show.
This is a show.
Thank you, Rashad. I'm glad that you acknowledged that. We are not a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are a show.
Let the podcasters do the podding and they make up shit. But listen, there's some different type of shit we do over here. I would actually ask Rich, why would you bring him into the situation? Why would it make sense? Hey, Rich, tell me what sets you would run for JJJ to make it make sense. Because we know what we're running for AR to get him 30 a game. Tell us. I would just want to be knowing because we got former players who own pods and we can explain the shit. Why would it make sense to bring Jaren Jackson Jr.? Why wouldn't it? If you don't rebound over 6 rebounds a game, you shooting less than 38% from the three. What you Ayton to me. We already got Ayton. So we're just giving a lot of power to the motherfucker that don't really know nothing about no hoop. Don't know shit about basketball. You watch basketball, bro.
But again, entertainment also important too. I'll just point out a lot of people who don't know about basketball that have reached great heights in this industry, either by yelling loud or making absurd takes. So that's one side of it. But let's shift over to you, the distinguished gentleman from Oak Cliff. Obviously, when this pod first dropped, you said it was interesting. Now when you hear a situation like this going on, again, I want to preface hypothetical trade. Just talking about situation, talk about a lot of hypothetical trades on that show. I think in that second clip we showed, Kellerman suggested that they could trade Luka for a bunch of assets. Some would call rage baiting, just point out what's going on. But you feel like, Max Kellerman suggested trading Luka and all the assets you can get back.
And keeping Austin Reaves.
As a potential option. Obviously people got in their feelings about it. We hear our Cleveland representative Shook saying that is the move, right? So some may agree with that, but Kane, to yourself, do you think Rich Paul is crossing the line doing this podcast and creating situations like this where now LeBron has to give statements to ESPN that he ain't got shit to do with it?
What I said when it first came out about it being interesting, it is interesting. The topics that they choose to discuss, right? He's a grown man. He can talk about whatever he wants to. But like I said, when you're an active agent and when you looked at it in a certain light in that business, you speaking of things like this just come, like you talking about trades and naming names and things like that, and then it comes across as like you got a hand in something. That's why I said it's interesting and seems weird. I also stated that if he was up there giving the business, how he stated like things that you can do within the trades, those are things that people would like to hear from you because you are a good agent. Given the business of basketball, how trades work, if you were to make a move for this salary of a guy, instead of naming names, use numbers, right? I don't think it comes across as this.
But I guess my counter to that would be, do you feel like when he was doing that, he presented different options? He didn't just say, hey, trade Austin Reaves.
But why name names, though? That's my thing. Like, why
that team?
Yeah, why?
The problem is The problem is you're picking a team that you're really attached to because LeBron in. You're invested in it. So that's why I said we don't know where the line is because it's the first time happening. And the problem is it's you can control it more. So what I'm looking for is was Jaren Jack ever a client? Right? Which technically, because Rich used to be working with CAA, right? And he's a CAA client. So I'm looking at those connections, trying to get your boy back here. You got to remember, like most of the Lakers players usually have been clutch players, easy controllable. So in the sense, you have a lot of moving pieces you can move around, right? So you're sitting there, you have to look further. Okay, he throws this out there. If this trade happens, now what? Who are you really looking for? Because if we're going to talk basketball, ain't no motherfucking way Jaren Jack is helping the Lakers.
No.
LeBron plays that position. You can't put his ass at the 3. So he has to play the 4. So who are you going after? Are you going to use Jaren and Big Fella to go get a real center? There's a move that's being made, and it's in that conversation.
Yeah, and
you bring him over here. You got Ayton. Who are you packaging them to for? Because to give a shooting guard away for a big man, and we don't have another shooting guard in play, right now we have a problem at that position. I know what comes off the bench. If Austin goes down and Austin got a sub out, everybody, it feels like they all 5'6" at this moment in time because they unathletic, all of 6'3", 6'4". Can't touch the net is our guard play. Our most athletic plays in the G League at that position. Everybody else is small guards, short arms, right? That are liabilities. So you're going to trade our 6'6" guard to bring back a big. You're going to bring that back. You're going to trade them to get what, Jokic? Tell me more. Tell me to play, nigga. So I can put like I just made this shit up myself.
Yeah, no, just teasing it.
But it's this ain't the move.
Yeah. So why speak on it? But that's my
because Jaren Jack, he just signed his money this year, right? Right, this summer.
I think it was last.
Right, he just signed that this summer.
Didn't he get defensive?
No,
he had to take the cut.
Yeah, he signed it right. It was this summer he signed that. Sure, last summer.
It was last summer.
Last summer?
I believe it was last summer. Yeah, but is it like I said, you can speak.
July 2025, so 5-year, 240.
Yeah, you can have.
Austin, the fact that he's using Austin means there's going to be some type of sign and trade, so he's. That's what he's worth.
That's the point he made, though, that the Grizzlies will pay Austin.
But to get Austin his money, so Austin's up this summer, right? The Lakers can pay him because LeBron comes off the books. So Lakers still can pay him. That's what I'm saying.
But now you have Luka and Austin.
That's what I've been saying. He can still pay.
But you have Luka and Austin now as your two tied up with your two max money. So now where do you go? 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they've been in there.
We got money.
What's any other? That's the same predicament they've been in.
Yeah, I get
same predicament they've been in. So you got to figure it out, right?
But that's what I was saying yesterday. So when you're talking about Austin, if I sign him this summer, I can't trade him. If I trade him right now and get Jaren Jack, I can trade him this summer. Right? Because his whatever that window is of him being traded, we're in it. So I can make a move for someone that's disgruntled that says, "Oh, the team done quit on me." I can make that move with Jaren Jack. So I can get Jaren Jack for Austin and then give, hey, you need this piece over there, and get Giannis. Like it seems like because it's so random that don't make sense to the way the roster is today. And for this 240 mixed with something else, I can grab that number 2 or that number 1 to match with my superstar.
And let me put another spin on this. The words that he used, right? If I was running the Lakers, makes me think that you're setting yourself up to have a Rob Pelinka situation. Former agent, become GM, and running the team. So those things, those conversations and all of that are...
It's no secret that LeBron wants to own a team, though, after his career is done. And you imagine?
Yeah, so it's like...
He's going to put his crew in.
Little things like that. I ain't saying that, but it's...
But you know,
That's why I get the move. Like, that's why I get why he's on the podcast.
we had Dan Fagan.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
God rest his soul.
The way he manipulated, he damn near was the GM.
Yeah, absolutely. Of multiple teams.
Yeah, he was a GM for multiple teams. You're gonna hear it for the first time. Rich Paul probably is the GM for multiple teams.
Yeah.
Right? Because
You want to tell him?
most of them don't know how to put teams together. So they go to the agent who has multiple players. Hey, who do I need? Well, you got this player over there. These players get along, so you got to make this move. That's what they end up doing.
Yeah, the book.
Y'all don't see the play?
The book say this.
And
the book say this.
The book say this. You can get rid of this piece here. I got this guy in Milwaukee that you can get out of Brooklyn, and we can put him here. And we can. It's all of that.
The agent, the agent knows the book and the writing.
We told you, Sebastian.
Not the general managers.
I think we talked about the move Rich is making. This move is, if Rob can do it, why the fuck can't I do it? And don't be trying to play like Rob can do it because he's white and I can't do it because I'm black. If Rob can do it, I can do it. So I'm putting myself in position to be on this podcast to tell y'all how I would do it if I was given the position that Rob was in. I'm telling y'all, if I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm making this trade for this guy. And we telling you, we firing your ass as soon as you make that move, my nigga.
Right away, Shard.
It's a dumb move. Okay. It just don't make no sense. That's why I'm like, the power you are having, you're using it to do the wrong moves based on your clients, right? So based on him not really using the... You gotta move Bron if you're gonna do that, or you gotta let him move out the way.
Yeah, but Bron, no trade clause.
If I'm trying to make a trade to bring somebody here, that means Bron is staying.
But why?
Because he has $50 million that comes off the books, and he's a free agent off the books. So
if I move him, it's off my books.
I get to sit and wait.
But you gotta take something back.
You gotta take something back.
Do I gotta take 50 back?
Yes. You got to take anywhere from 43 to 50 something. You got to take back.
And I can move that too, right?
No, you can't.
Once I get it back,
you have to wait.
I can actually move that.
No, there's a dead period.
If it's an expired contract.
If it leaves. So think about this. Let's say, this is how you got to think. LeBron wants to win another championship either next year or the following year.
Damn.
And he wants to stay in LA, right? How do you make the moves now? The only way you make these moves is you look at the assets, right? His $50 million is for, let's just say, a Giannis that's a free agent or a Jokic that's this is what I have. I have the King's ransom here. The King a step aside. Don't worry about him yet, right? Now I have Austin. This is 240. Who can I get for 240 that's going to match up with this secret 50 nobody's paying attention to? So if I can make this move happen now, trade here. Now, let's say I got a Luka and a Giannis. This $50 million that LeBron is sitting on is unfair. Because this $50 million can go get whoever you want. Because it's max money. So if I can get Austin Reaves and move that and get a superstar, now my old superstar money, I can give it to someone else, and then LeBron can come back on the team at a cheaper price. And that's what happened to Chris Paul in that deal and why it got tanked. It got tanked because Chris Paul got traded for Gasol and Odom, right? Now, it's two players that's making big money versus his. On the back end, that nobody knew, it was going to be Bynum for Howard. That's going to be the trade. Then there's the amnesty. You're going to amnesty Ron's money. And the salary cap went up, which means they literally would have had Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, and Kobe with $24 million left on the cap during a time where you can sign LeBron James and Chris Bosh for max deals and start them both at what? $12 million each and be under the salary cap. Now you are under the salary cap with this looking lineup. Kobe at $24 million. You got Chris Paul. You got Dwight Howard. You got LeBron James and Chris Bosh. The USA team was being built. Our agent told Mark Cuban, hey, y'all gonna have to veto this. They got too much money left over. It was the money that was left over that was the problem. It wasn't them big, it was too much money left over because they can control the market with $24 million at that time. So that's why they vetoed it.
My question is this then.
And now that's what happens right here with LeBron's money.
If you don't, okay, so if you were to move Austin Reaves right now, it would be on the contract that he has right now, right?
No, you're gonna have to sign and trade him, but yeah, it would be on the,
So
you're gonna have to move it with somebody
when
else.
is his extension would be after this year, right?
Yep.
So moving Austin Reaves right now, it can't make any sense because you can't go get Giannis right now.
No. You have to. So it'd be Austin Reaves and someone else. Austin Reaves and Rui, right? You're trying to get back to 40.
Or you can just wait and keep what you got because what we got is good.
Is it good, Sean?
What we got is second in the West.
And what is it now?
Fifth?
Right.
Is what we got, does it play good defense on a night-to-night basis?
Who's not playing right now? Who hasn't been playing?
And when all three of them come together, is what we got good enough to beat the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Rockets, or the Spurs in a 7-game series?
No.
Or the Timberwolves?
They got a chance. They got a
Okay,
good
that's-
chance. They got a good chance.
Because I know what I'm watching on a nightly
So
basis.
this is my whole point. I'm not going against what he's saying because it's all, like he
I was
said,
in the reason I know it
hypothetical.
because my agent was Dan Fagan. I'm in Orlando, right? I'm at Amnesty, so I know what's going on. right?
It
So
makes sense.
I know what's going on.
It all makes sense. But what I'm saying is for the future of the Lakers they're not in desperation win right now times. LeBron is in desperation win now time.
No.
This is not a Laker thing. If you're going to build for the future, you look at what you got in Austin Reaves and what he can be, and you get off that asset, and you go chase something a lot less, or something similar that may not have as much upside as he has, and his loyalty to the organization and all of the stuff that the business may not even hold anymore. I'm just looking at it from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you got Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic. All you need is the smaller pieces. You don't like Luka don't want to see motherfuckers over there in his way. This is one dude, he cool with being in. I'm cool with you being in my way, bro. Cause you get your shit off when I'm tired. Chipotle burritos, I'm cool. I need to take a fart a little bit over here. When you go, you do you, I'm gonna do me. We cool, 30-30. We good. We can get a win off that. We play some zone. JJ can talk to them guys. I'm just saying, like, that's just me, man. I'm looking at it from that standpoint instead of sticking to LeBron ain't won a championship in 5 years. Mm-hmm. That's usually what we look at in the metrics of shit. Tomlin just got fired. Certain guys just got fired because it's like we ain't been back. We ain't winning. What we holding on to this for? Ain't no knock on greatness and none of that. It's just what we try and win. If we try and win, let's actually build a blueprint and a formula for that. Let's not just be chasing it for the legacy and the story script ending of this particular scenario. Because I don't think the Lakers are built on that.
But are they
On what, legacy?
No, on trying to make it for somebody else's legacy. They're not gonna chase the championship. Like they let the shit happen with Kobe. They let the shit happen with like certain guys. They just let that shit roll off.
Everything the Lakers have built has been off of trades. Besides in the 80s when everything was crooked. Everything has been off of trading these pieces for some real gold.
Well, that's technically trades too. Talking about James Worthy.
Yeah.
So,
But what I'm saying is you got to think about everybody who, remember, we got rid of Vlade for Kobe. Everybody was booing. They didn't like that. Worked out, right? We're talking about all these young boys that we had, that D-Lo All-Star. Everybody we had and drafted end up becoming All-Star. Ingram became an All-Star. Julius Randle became an All-Star. Those players turned into Anthony Davis and got us a championship, right? So they're going to do it. Listen, what we have now, we're going to get a superstar. There's going to be another one. We work with two. We working with two over here. So who is going to be? It's going to be Giannis? We don't know. It's going to be Jokic? We don't know. But I can tell you this, Austin Reaves, Rui, all expendables. You did your, hey, the city appreciates you, Austin. Lemon Daddy! You are immortal. When we got Jokic running up and down winning championships.
So
it was because of you and that hard work you did and put in that something.
So that brings the next question, because we wasn't including those Rich Paul clips. He did talk about, you talk about that $240 million max, or you talk about Reeves taking another team-friendly deal. Because he wants to see. But Rich Paul basically said, fuck the team-friendly deal. He's not supportive of that.
Same shit I said.
So now basically, as you're Austin Reeves, do you go somewhere now to get that 240?
No,
or
stay where he is, get his 240.
Or do you think you stay with the Lakers and get the 240?
Lakers and
No.
Get your 240
As a player,
and y'all make some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Y'all need to do.
I love Lemon Daddy. I love
as
Lemon
a
Daddy.
player, you're sitting in a situation, and this is the situation. I'm worth 240. San Antonio want to give me 240. I want to be here because I'm relevant, I'm popping, I like the style, but they talking 160. Am I ever going to make that back up? Because if they don't get rid of me today, they're going to try tomorrow. They're going to try next week. So let me take my 240.
Peace
Because
out.
I settle for 210.
That's the problem.
I settle for 200.
They have their number. Remember, that number was 81st. They're not saying 210 to
They offered him the 4-year, $90 million extension. I think
4-year,
it was like,
90.
What they knew he was going to turn down.
That means if he takes it, we can go get a superstar, right? I need to go get a superstar. We love you. We want you, but we want you for a certain price. I want them Jordans. I want them Jordans at 200. I don't know if I want them at 2,000.
Yeah.
But I do want them. They're my favorites.
Yeah.
But I want them for that price because I already had bought some fucking socks.
Yeah.
You got an outfit? I got a whole outfit. I'm going to the park in, and me buying 2,000 messed everything up. And that's the look of it.
Yeah.
So the problem is going to be with him. Mm-hmm. Can he live with himself taking, and I'm going to say it,
A haircut.
anything around 120 to 160.
Jeez.
With no guarantee that you get the.
With no guarantee you're going to be here to end that contract.
So,
just to be here at least one more year.
So 120 to 160 with a no trade clause, Gil?
They're
not doing it.
They ain't doing it.
Just 160 is that is going to be that deal where they're going to feel comfortable with because they can still make some great moves.
You know we wasn't having this.
Somebody gonna give him 200. Somebody gonna give him 220.
But he gonna get 220. Yeah, they're gonna get 220.
Lakers gonna offer him 160. He gonna go.
Rashad, we had talked about
We
this
was
before.
literally having an argument about giving Austin Reaves the whole thing.
The max.
Literally.
You're not
And
getting it.
it was divided between, I think it was me and Swag saying, man, Austin Reaves, you gonna give him that?
No.
You gonna give him the whole thing? Like, man, Austin Reaves.
The whole
Why was we
caboodle.
saying? They were saying it because he was playing so well at the
numbers.
time.
I mean, he's averaging
He was
27 right
killing,
now.
right? And so we was like, but still, it's Austin Reaves. Still, it's Austin Reaves. You gonna give Austin Reaves the max, right? But now it's full circle where we can look at it and be like, yeah, man. Yeah, what he was doing, if you really think about everybody else, we watched the whole league and like, yeah, who else is better than this dude doing what he was doing for this team under these lights? next to these guys.
But them guys, was only one
It
guy.
ain't about them numbers though.
No fear.
But I'm saying it ain't always about the numbers, and we see that all the way across.
Well, it's about some numbers, but
No,
not
what
them
I'm saying is like, look at
Not them
Cam,
numbers.
Cam and all that. It ain't always about.
Yeah, that was the conversation. It was Cam.
It ain't. It's about numbers,
was
but
talking
not
about Cam,
Not the numbers
Giddy,
that they want to think.
Giddy, yeah, that was
You gotta be, and I remember I said, hey, I said the first
one
y'all
to
all want 120.
Yeah.
First
the
on that
first
side?
one of y'all
Yeah.
that says
It
I'm
was
gonna take the
Kaminga,
I'll take
it was
the 90,
Kaminga,
yeah,
Thomas,
yeah,
Giddy,
yeah.
and Austin Reeves,
Exactly
and
what you
Quentin
said.
Grimes
Yeah.
in there.
and Quentin Grimes.
That's what you
And
said.
Giddy took his first.
Giddy
his
took the
and-
100.
and
He got
everybody
the ball
else.
in his hand. He out there like this. Yeah, do you?
Triple double.
Everybody else is sitting there like, oh man, I just took that goddamn 100.
Yeah.
All right, Austin is over there like, nah, good luck. But we going to the upper room.
Yeah, he gonna go to you.
I know
We going to the upper room?
I know the team that do want him. They got some boys over there that can be over here.
They have to.
That's them Spurs. Spurs got too many pieces in the same position. And them same pieces in them positions is the pieces we need in this position. Right? Y'all got 4 guards. You don't need 2 of them. 2 of them. And that Champagne kid, we can use him too. Here you go.
Hey, that's different. We take, hey,
You see what I'm saying?
fuck around and get
I like that we. I like that we. Yeah, that we.
we fuck around and get off Vassell and Johnson, keep Castle, pick up Austin Reaves,
Yeah, see? And you can give us who?
Vassell and Johnson.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you can throw in the Fox.
You keep De'Aaron?
Because he's clutch. We'll take that.
You got Luka. You don't
We'll
need
take that
Fox.
clutch kid over
You
here.
don't need him.
That clutch kid.
You
Speed
take
game-
Sohan. You can
speed
take-
that game up just a
Take
little
Lil Rodman.
bit.
Take Lil Rodman. Y'all used to Lil Rodman. Take Lil Rodman with you.
Well, on that note,
I'm just saying, it's one of those things where he has to be careful. I don't know if they get I know the team gets a tampering for talking like this. He
he does not. He is not affiliated with the team, despite the LeGM claims.
So-
It's funny. It was, Pelinka getting a lot of love during the championship years, but then LeGM when things don't work out. But LeBron's been there this whole time. That's just,
Good luck, Rich.
makes me say,
Good luck. I see what
But
you're doing. Good luck.
We asked the chat, did Rich Paul cross the line with AR take? 69% of the chat said yes. Neither here nor there. Actually saw Rich at the Lakers-Bucks game Friday. Said that
Said it was 69.
69%.
I was going to make it to 78.
Did not make it to 78. But said he's in a unique position to be able to do this
The
pod.
Spurs aren't interested in Austin Reaves. What's the number 1 team that won Austin Reaves?
Spurs did try to get him. I think we're willing to go over what the Lakers offered. Austin took a team-friendly deal to stay with the Lakers.
So the Spurs won him.
The San Antonio Spurs.
Now, at the money he's making, how many players can we get off that Spurs team?
You can get a lot.
Okay.
But on that note,
So we can get like we can get like Harper, right? We can get like Harper, Champagne. We can get we can get some of them over here. Okay, I'm just checking. Luka with a Champagne.
we will see if it happens.
Better than the Vando.
Miracle.
He couldn't even shoot that bitch.
Good play.
I told him, shut up, Bob yourself. He couldn't
Man,
pull it.
he won't even shoot that bitch. Damn, bro. I'm like, shoot it.
Good place for us
Shoot
to
it.
wrap up.
No, shoot it just as though we got you. You got a shot, goddamn.
Shout out to everybody in the chat as always.
Hold on, man. I got a shot.